Welcome to Kardec Radio, where you nourish your soul daily. As you wait for our next program, The Medium's Book, visit Kardec Publisher at kardecpublisher.com to check out our latest books. Also, check out our Kardec Flicks, Spiritism in a Click. Just go to kardecflix.com. And now with you, our host, Dr.
Hello, dear friends. Such a great joy, special event being here with you all, with my gratitude for your presence, attending this wonderful life that is a wonderful study, that Medium's Book, and we are now in chapter 31st, second part, Dissertations of Spirits. That is very important. And I took advantage of the IE, ChatGPT, to create some images that look like that we are there with Kardec, okay? And now, showing to you this image that the spirits that were dictating the messages to the mediums to compile this wonderful book, Socrates, St. Augustine, St. Paul, etc., around Kardec, the mediums, and the Parisian Society. And Kardec, when he was working in the medium's book, he collected and selected a number of spontaneous communications, which complete and conform to the principles set forth in this work. We could have included a larger number, but we have limited ourselves to those that most particularly have bearing on the future of spiritism, mediums, and meetings. We give them for the instruction they provide as a model of truly serious communications. We end the chapter with a few apocryphal communications along with observations that will help recognize them as such. Concerning spirits, that were divided concerning spirits, concerning meetings, concerning mediums. And concerning spiritism, Kardec chose the messages from St. Augustine, Chateaubriand, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, A Familiar Spirit, St. Benedict, St. Louis, and Channing. All these spirits, they dictate more than one message, but regarding concerning spirits, I choose one message in particular that caught my attention, and I am sharing with you. That is Jean-Jacques Rousseau messages. And he said, I think that Spiritism is an entirely philosophical study of concealed causes and inner movements of the soul, which have been little defined or not defined at all until today. It explains more than it unveils new horizons, reincarnation, and the trials that you must bear before arriving at the supreme goal are not mere revelations, but full confirmations of the truth. I am struck by this truth that are being brought to light by means of Spiritism. I say means intentionally, because I view Spiritism as a lever that breaks down the barriers of blindness. Concern over moral issues is being awakened everywhere. Individuals are discussing political issues, and this awakens general interest. They discuss individual interests, and the attack on or defense of personalities awakens passions. And the theories, continuing Jean-Jacques Rousseau, theories win supporters and detractors, but moral truths, the food of the soul, its bread of life, remain in the dust accumulated over the centuries. To human eyes, all forms of improvement seem useful except that of the soul. Its education and evolution seem like chimeras that only serve to occupy the leisure time of priests, poets, women, whether as simple fashion or as formal instruction. If Spiritism breathes new life into spiritualism, it will provide society with the impulse that will awaken inner dignity in some and resignation in others, while in of everyone it will awaken the need to evolve towards the Supreme Being, forgotten by an unknown to his ungrateful creatures. Jacques Rousseau. And now Kardec divide and bring concerning Spiritist meetings. This part caught my attention as I was reading. I said, oh my God, it looks like that Kardec organized this yesterday. It's so up to date to these days that is really amazing. And you can follow what I'm saying here. Among the following communications, some were given by the Parisian Society for Spiritist Studies or addressed to it. Others were transmitted through various mediums and contain general advice concerning groups, their organization, and the problems they may encounter. That was Kardec writing to us. And a message in St. Augustine that I choose to bring here. We can really meditate and reflect what St. Augustine is saying for us. Why not begin your sessions with a general invocation, a kind of a prayer that can gear your minds for concentration? Without a mental reflection, you will receive only frivolous communications. Good spirits only appear where they are fervently and sincerely called upon, but humans do not understand this fact very well. Thus, it is up to you to set an example, and if you want to, you may become one of the pillars of the new edifice. We have been observing your labors with satisfaction and have been helping you out, but on the condition that you also help us by proving that you are up to the mission you have been called to fulfill. Be united, and you will be strong, and evil spirits will not prevail against you. Amazing, isn't it? And the images that I took from the chat GPT is helping very well us. It's Kardec, accordingly to AI. And now St. Augustine continuing. God loves the simple of spirit, which does not mean fools, but those who renounce themselves and approach him without pride. You can become a beacon for humankind. Learn to distinguish between wheat and tares. Only sow wheat and avoid scattering tares, because they will prevent the wheat from sprouting, and you will be responsible for all the resultant evil. Thus, you will be responsible for spreading any erroneous doctrines. Remember that someday the world may look to you. So fortify yourselves so that nothing can dim the glow from the good deeds that will result from your efforts. This is why we recommend that you ask God to assist you. What St. Augustine is saying to us here now, that any event on Spiritist teachings, congresses, workshops, seminars, or even a talk, We can, if a meeting, it can start with a prayer, and you can finish with a prayer. It's more or less people saying that, why you do prayer every time? You do only a meditation, close your eyes, and that's it. So no, we talk to God. We respect our dear benefactors that are surrounding us, helping us, protecting us in our events, in our daily lives. Now the point here that Kardec brought about concerning mediums. And he brought some spirits that dictate messages in the Parisian society. And the ones was Pierre Juti, father of the medium, Joan of d'Arc, Pascal, Delphine of Girardin, the Spirit of Truth, Saint Augustine, Saint Louis, Vincent de Paul, Fenelon, George, a familiar spirit, Massillon, Erastus. And I choose a message from Pascal to bring here for us to reflect. Whenever you want to receive communication from good spirits, prepare yourself for such grace through concentration, pure intentions, and the desire to practice goodness for the overall general progress. Remember that selfishness always hinders evolution. Remember that if God allows some of you to receive the whisper of his children, who by their conduct have merited the blessedness of comprehending the infinite divine goodness, it is because God has heeded our request and has taken your good intentions into account, and thus wills to grant you the means of advancing on your path. Continuing Pascal. Therefore, all mediums, take advantage of the faculty that God has granted you. Have faith in the goodwill of your master. Always put charity into action. Never cease practicing either this noble virtue of tolerance. May your actions always be in harmony with your conscience. This is a sure way of increasing your happiness 100-fold during this passing lifetime, and of preparing you for an existence that will be 1,000-fold sweeter. May those mediums who do not feel they have the strength to persevere in the Spiritist teaching abstain, because if they do not take advantage of the light that has dawned on them, they will be at the guiltier and will have to expiate their blindness. So Pascal adverts us how really to use our time when we want to practice mediumship, want to be a good medium, want to work with the humbleness in our hearts to deliver the messages or to help rescue spirits in our mediumship meetings. That is something that we have to think about. And now, the part that caught my attention even the most, apocryphal communications. And I was saying, how to explain apocryphal for a young people? Okay, what means apocryphal? According to the internet that I found, not considered genuine or authentic, of doubtful authenticity, something that's not good, it's not really clear, or it's not says what it means to say. It often refers to a story, text, or statement that is widely circulated as true, but is probably not actually true or not accepted as true by scholars of authorities. Nowadays, a lot of messages is circulating apocryphal, signed the Dr. inverted commas, Dr. Bezerra de Menezes, Divaldo Franco, as Divaldo passed away in May, Divaldo Franco, Chico Xavier, and people, Jesus, and people are taking for granted that these true messages without really think the message in full, in order to be a critical. And we need to be critical in order not to accept liars, or messages that's apocryphal. And following are there some examples here. And sometimes these communications are so absurd, although signed by the highly respectable names, as I said before, that the most ordinary common sense exposes their falsity. You are reading the message and say, it's not right, this kind of things here, but I don't know where, but this message is not really good, something wrong. In others, the error is disguised by being mixed with correct principles, can mislead and prevent its detection at the first sight. However, they do not hold up under serious examination, and we will examine one message here. You can see here. Apocryphal communications attributed Vincent de Paul, Napoleon, Jesus, Bossuet, Alfred de Magirac. He speaks very beautifully, the spirit, good vocabulary, but does not bring any productive lessons. It is better do not accept 99 truths than accept one lie. One lie come and stay. And when we accept one lie, we are really in danger. If you don't accept 99, but we can go back and accept them. Okay? It's something that we're talking here. Vincent of de Paul is the message that I choose to bring here, and says, the perpetual and incessant creation of worlds is for God a kind of perpetual pleasure in seeing their rays becoming more and more luminous in happiness. For God, there is neither number nor time. Thus, hundreds or millions are neither more nor less to God. God is a father whose joy is composed of the collective joy of all his children. At each second of creation, God sees a new joy founded upon the universal joy. There is neither cessation nor suspension in this perpetual movement, this great continuous joy that fertilizes both heaven and earth. You only know a small fraction of what there is to know about the earth. And you have brothers who live in planes that humans have not yet reached. Of what significance are the terrible heat and mortal cold that paralyze the efforts of the most audacious? Do you believe you have reached the limits of your world when you cannot advance any further with your precarious resources? And continuing, Vincent de Paul, fake. Can you precisely measure your planet? Do not believe in it. There are more unknown regions than those ones on your planet. However, since it is futile to continue propagating your evil institutions and all your imperfect laws, actions, and ways of life, there is a limit which keeps you here or there, and which restrains you until you can bear the good seed that your free will shall produce. No, you do not know the world you call earth. In your existence, you shall see a big beginning as a proof of this communication. Hence, the hour will sound in which there will be another discovery beyond the last that was made. You will see the circle of your known earth broaden, and when the press sings that Hosanna in every language, you poor children who love God and seek the divine path, we will know about it even before those who will give their name to the new land. samples of St. Vincent of Paul. So what Spiritism learn from Spirit? What we learn from spirits? Remember, we are bringing here just a taste of what the medium's book means for us as a guidelines for life. You can learn much, much, much more. It's a wonderful book. And teach us, we learn from them, the spirits, we learn from this book that suffering spirits teach us compassion and the reality of the consequences. Each message helps us reflect on our own transformation. We need to transform ourselves for the goodness of ourselves. Enlightened spirits guide us in love and spiritual education. So, my dear fellows, my dear friends, that is what I have to bring to you today as a slides. And I'm so happy that you can share with your friends, or if you have someone that is a medium or didn't study this book, we will soon start again here in the UK. The medium's book studies Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Every Saturday, and you can spread the word. And here in Kardec Radio, we have these wonderful chapters that we are discussing separately, and you can always receive benefits from that. Thank you so much for everything. I hope you be together once more. I don't know when, but be in my heart. All of you are here in my heart, and thank you so much. God bless you all.